Good morning. Um, Excuse me, I just got in the market. Let me get out. Okay. Um, Let me show you something. We talked about this yesterday. I told you the 30 minutes. Let me show you a big chart here. The 30 minutes was pointing to a move to the downside. Unfortunately, it did meet its standards, but here's the problem. Here's a primary pivot. It hit before it. Let me show you something very important. This is the support using Fibonacci retracement and other proprietary indicators. That's where the market should bounce this morning. I bought it just a minute earlier and I got out for $150 just as I was talking to you. It may collapse. 3060 on the S&P is a buying opportunity with a stop at 3030 or 40 even. The Nasdaq has a bit to go to the downside, but which is at the 8620. We talked about this yesterday. I could not believe the chart would be correct, but they were correct. Coronavirus or otherwise, that's where the market went. This is where the S&P bouncing off now. I also want to show you something interesting. The RSI, and this is important to notice that on a daily chart, the RSI is quite oversold. So I expect a bounce any minute. If the market comes down in the morning, when it opens for 5-10 minutes, that would be a perfect buying opportunity. So I'm gonna have to go long very soon. Unfortunately, we still have more to go because the the analysis, the trigger here is not supporting move to the upside, and I'm afraid even that what I call profit taking index is below 34, which also suggests that this is not going to be resumed with the wave 5. Bottom line here, we may have a day or two on the upside, and I'm afraid there is a little bit more to the downside based on the chart alone, but I've been wrong in the past. Let me go back to the 30 for a very short term perspective. This is the Nasdaq is also supposed to be bouncing off this one, so I expect the bounce. Let me see if the S&P has the same analysis. Let me do it from here. See, the S&P has a little bit more to go, which is the 3037. So we could see him about 20 more points down to the downside. If it happens this morning, I'll grab that with a couple of big ones. We'll see how the Nasdaq behaves. The Nasdaq is at 86.58. We said it has found support, but it does allow a move further down to the 9,500, 8,500. So it could happen. We have about 20 more points on the S&P to the downside, and about 100 or so on the Nasdaq, which sounds about right relationship. I cannot tell. We're gonna have to go to the 3 minutes chart to get a feeling of where we are. Let me clear that up. The 3 minutes chart does allow for a move downward, unfortunately. Stochastic is bearish, so I'm not gonna be able to go long at this point. It's too risky to go short. It may go down 100 points. I really don't know. But this is 65.55. No, that's 85.55. That's 100 points from where we are, and that's just a 3 minute chart. I don't see any support. Let me look at the smallest of all, the 1 minute. Even the 1 minute, folks, is allowing move for the 86.16. So I have a feeling we are coming down at the outset. I'm not gonna go long. I'm gonna wait till something happens. Technical supports outside the elliott wave analysis are as follows. The Nasdaq buying point is, and I'm reading this because you can see that from the congested area on the charts, we could buy it at 86.20, which might be consistent with that wave. Yeah, that for the 1 minute wave count, 86.20 is where this goes. So I'll try to buy 86.20, 86.10, but I'll definitely put a tight stop at 85.90. That's the Nasdaq. For the S&P, the truth is the buying signal is right here at 3,070.60, and with the stop at 3,040. So we have a conflict here. The S&P is at the buying point. The Nasdaq has a little bit more to go. Which will win? I don't know. I have to look at the put-call ratio and the internals before I make a decision. Right now, I'm gonna sit on my hands until something happens. I'll make a decision very quickly and I'll let you know. So we have a few minutes left. I do expect a move to the upside though at some point. Obviously, the market is going to be very, very, very volatile. That's just stating the obvious. I'm going to try to have more than one chart so we could see how they all come together. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. This is the 5 minutes. It's coming down. The low was 52. It is at the low. S&P low, I'm sorry, the Nasdaq low is 48. It is at 50, so it's at the low. S&P 52, 52 and a half. So we are hitting the lows as we go. Remember, the S&P should not go below 40. So it's approaching that point. Nasdaq buy price was 20, 10.20, so it hit 48. Could be close enough, to be honest. Although although there is a bit to go to the downside on the Nasdaq, but we'll see. One more minute before hell turn loose. We are seeing to move to the downside for both. The big players are down 2 and 3 and 4%. The market just opened, and the market it went down. It's 50 for one the Nasdaq. Advanced decline ratio is 1 to 10 to 1. Or 1 to 10, pretty bearish, maybe wash out. Volume is even worse. Nasdaq has a positive trend Q. It dipped down and went up.
Order filled.
I bought one contract at 75. It's already 81. Down to 68 in a second, down to 60 in less than 2 seconds. The S&P is reaching its support. Nasdaq's falling out of bed, as we suspected. It's possible. Approaching the buying point of 82.20. 86.20, excuse me. This is a washout, clearly. I'm long from 70, it's 40, so I'm sitting on a considerable loss, but that's just the morning. I will double up in a second. market came down, hit the bottom like we expected, and it hit support and possibly coming up. It hit 35 low. We know that 20 was the buying opportunity, so it is at the low. We could have 17 more to the downside. Before the buying opportunity, 17 to 27. Attempting to move up from the low of 31. Is at 50, 47. S&P was 6 points above its support before a serious sell signal. It's coming back now, possibly. Put call ratio is pretty bearish, pretty bullish, both investors and speculators. So we may be forming the bottom right now. Traces of life. I think I'm in the green after being down about 800 or so, 900 actually. I'm up to 100 at this point. I might take it because you can't trust this market.
Order filled.
Took $350. Not bad. The market's just coming up now. So we hit our support point right on the dot almost. As I said before, the Nasdaq buying was at 86.20. We bought up at 30. That's peanuts. And the S&P buying was at 60. It went down to 46, which was the support line before a sell signal. It was 3040 is where we're supposed to sell signal. It hit 46, but now it's above the price we bought it at. Okay, so we survived this first move. We look for a slight retracement, then we buy the market. Okay. Remember that the stochastic here has a bar at the bottom, which, as we know, means that we expect a move to the downside after a move to the upside. It doesn't have to happen 95% of the time. It does happen, and it could happen at a much higher level, so you don't want to be short waiting for this to come down, because it may be at a much higher level than you choose to. Right, the market is retracing now, that very push from the bottom. And let's do some basic analysis here. This is stopped right exactly where it's supposed to stop. That's not even funny anymore. Okay. Let's hope this is the 1 minute. I'm not gonna trade less than the 1 minute. It's crazy. So I want it to come down a little bit with R turning negative, and then I'll be comfortable going long. Okay, it's coming, it's retracing. Let me make another analysis on this one here. That's very tight, but we'll see if we could do it. Actually, it shows that the it's support right here. So I'm buying at
Order filled.
85. I bought at 85. It is 88, 85, 82, just like in seconds. It's 80, 78, 6, back to 80. Down to 76. So we had the first euphoria from the bottom. Now it's filling the gaps. may retest it actually, hopefully successfully. The Nasdaq came down big time actually, back to where it was. That's not even funny. The S&P is at the sell signal. Wow. The Nasdaq hit its buy signal at 86.10. Now it's coming up. Wanted to buy it, couldn't buy it. The system was not responding fast enough. another one. I have no idea, to be honest. It's so fast, it says not responding at 41. I'm already underwater here. My average cost is 64. It is at 44. At 47, 48, hit 50 and come back. Two. $55. Hit 60 and came back.
Order filled.
Sold at 73, two of them, which means I bought them at 64, sold 73. That's 10 points on 40 contracts. That's $400 on that one. Not bad. It was stressful, I must say, though. Are they gonna retest it again? I have no idea. Magtech is at 89 already. Boy, I got out too early. Okay. Let's see. Not too early, apparently. Okay.
Order filled.
It takes 2 seconds and market changed so much. Anyway. I bought at 87 or 85. It's 95, 96.
Order filled.
I sold at 93. Made $160.
Order filled.
Bought at 78. I'm gonna ride it a little bit. It's gonna have to come down a little bit, this thing. Maybe not.
Order filled.
Sold at 84. Made 6 points on that one. I'm not gonna be able to trade this because I got things to do today. So I'm just gonna buy 2 micro ones and let it go.
Order filled.
Bought 2 micros at 76. And that's it. I gotta go. Thank you for watching.